Hi everybody, I'm excited to bring you my review of Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas. So in February, at the beginning of the month, we sailed on a 4-night sailing, what they call the perfect weekend, although our sailing was actually a Monday through a Friday. And we did have a really perfect time, even if it wasn't a weekend. Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas started sailing in July of 2024, and it is a mega ship. It can hold up to 7,200 passengers on board, and we had a full sailing when we went, and also over 2,000 crew members who are there to make your stay on the Utopia really extra special. I have to say, this ship is immaculate. It is beautifully designed. There are a lot of really smart ways to kind of divide up the space so that you never really feel like you have to be surrounded by crowds. So if you are there for the big party and the sail away parties by the pool with the DJ and the dancers, there's a lot of high energy party type vibes you can have. For our family, it was actually my husband, myself, and 2 friends of ours who went, and we kind of were looking for more of a calm, quieter, cruise experience at times, and we had no problem finding locations on the ship where we could really relax, have conversation, and not be surrounded by all of like the bumping music noise, although we did enjoy that too. So a couple highlights for me. One, you imagine with a ship with this many people on it with 16 decks that you're going to be going up and down between, that the elevator situation could be really challenging. What I will say is Royal really figured it out on this ship. The elevators are actually kind of a newer style. You'll see it on a few of the newer ships across a few different fleets, but specifically you go up to the elevator, you press the button for the deck that you want to go to, and they're kind of like these efficiency elevators. So you're not going to stop at every deck along the way. They're going to run you pretty much as quickly as possible to where you were trying to go. These were really efficient for us. I would say the only time that we had to wait on elevators, or we felt like we were kind of on the elevator making multiple stops, was when we were getting off the ship in the morning, when everyone was disembarking at port, or on our very last day as everyone was trying to leave the ship kind of in that same 2-hour window. It was getting a little more congested. But whether it was leaving a show, going to dinner, just exploring the ship, we had no problem and really enjoyed how quick and efficient this elevator system has been. So if you've heard mixed reviews, for us it worked great, and we had a very full sailing on our itinerary. All right, the next thing that Royal does really well is create spaces for adults only. So while we didn't have our kids with us on this trip, we did take advantage of the solarium. Now the solarium is an area that it is a solarium. It's what it sounds like. It is what it is. It's kind of a glass enclosed portion of the ship. It is an adults only area. There was a great bar in there with some amazing crew members that were serving drinks and whatnot the whole time. A lot of seating, whether it was loungy couches, lounge chairs, comfy seats. There was a lot to choose from. We never felt overcrowded. And then also some cool pools and also some hot tubs in the solarium. Now, the solarium on Utopia is located at the very forward part of the ship, and we ended up spending a lot of time in there, not on purpose, but just because this was our place to go to, get a great drink, have beautiful views of the water or the port we were stopping in, and enjoy just a little bit of a quieter vibe. So if that's what you're into, check out the solarium. We spent more time there than we thought we would. All right, the other thing to note is dining. The main dining room was an awesome time. We had a great server, Regina. Shout out to Regina, she was amazing. And we just really enjoyed having this dedicated time to sit and eat and have conversation together. Now, if you don't like the structure of having the main dining room experience where you eat at the same time every day, you can also choose My Time Dining, where you go and make reservations for when you plan to eat in the main dining room. We originally booked My Time Dining, and after looking at when the shows were available on the ship, we are not super late night owls, so we ended up moving up to the 5 p.m. dining time, main dining room time, and having an earlier dinner so that we could make those 8:30 shows without having to be rushed, and wouldn't keep us from being able to explore, having some drinks or enjoying the ship a little bit after the shows are over. So that worked really well for us, but the main dining room is a great option. If you'd like to skip the main dining room, another free option you have is the Windjammer, which is the massive buffet on board. This is going to give you stations for every type of food you could possibly imagine. This is going to be a great place if you're going with kids and family members, maybe multi-generational families. We saw a ton of that there on board, because you can get what you want. Everyone can find something they enjoy. And when you're done eating, you can leave. You're not really locked into a seated, plated meal experience. So if you're looking for something a little more on the go, or you have some antsy members of your group, the Windjammer is a great option, and you're going to have, unbelievable choices when it comes to what you could eat there. Specialty dining is another great consideration, and you can actually book this in advance. You can buy a package that will give you signature dining experiences on board. Izumi is a great popular one in the Central Park area. Tons of people were eating there. That seemed to be a really popular one. The Mason jar is also a really exceptional specialty dining that would cost extra. So if you are someone who's a foodie, I would say you may be a little disappointed with just the standard fare at the Windjammer, the main dining room, and some of the free options. So if you are someone who is really focused on food for your trip, I would consider looking into the package where you can prepay for those specialty dining experiences. I think you're going to be way more thrilled with the options that you have in those dining venues. All right, a couple other notes on the ship. We were on deck 14, and after I booked it, I thought, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. This is one level below the pools. Is it going to be too noisy? We were kind of toward the forward end of the ship, the front part of the ship, on deck 14 with an ocean view balcony. And I will say we didn't hear a single thing in our cabin. So we did not hear the noise from above, whether it was the pool parties. We didn't hear noise from people going in and out of the kids area, which was the Oceaneer Club, which was right on our deck. So I would say no noise concerns. I think they really, with this brand new ship, took care of soundproofing different areas and making sure that you didn't have a lot of distractions in your cabin. So we had a very comfortable, quiet stay when in our cabin, and even on the balcony, enjoyed beautiful views and didn't hear a lot of noise. So great job, Royal, for the way that you set this up. We would highly recommend staying on 14 again. And based on where we were able to walk right up into the solarium, which we spent a lot of time, as I mentioned, and get to the pools really easily. So we enjoyed that forward upper deck location on our sailing. All right, I have a lot more to come about some of the specific things that we did on this ship, but I would say overall, if you're considering Utopia of the Seas, does it feel like a party ship? Yes, it absolutely feels like a party ship. But there are great ways that you can explore and experience the ship without being stuck in a party vibe the whole time. I would say if you're traveling with children, there were a lot of families on the ship. There were a lot of kids who were enjoying the kids' pools, the splash pad that was on the deck. That was always really popular for the kiddos. And I saw a lot of them getting on and off the boat at each stop that we made along the way. So do not be deterred by, world's biggest weekend. It did feel like a big weekend. There's a lot of late night parties that we didn't do, but if you're really into the party vibe, I think that Royal really nailed it with this ship. But if you are traveling with kiddos as well, there's going to be plenty for them to enjoy and for you to enjoy as a family as well. So stay tuned. I'm going to bring you some more videos about some of the unique dining experiences that we had, like the Royal Railway, a little bit more about a cabin review of our cabin and our balcony and what we did there, and some just more details about Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which we actually stopped at twice on our sailing, which is a unique thing. So I'll talk about what to do, maybe what to skip, and what to prioritize when you're planning your perfect day at Coco Cay. All right, thanks for watching.